Okay. I think we're recording. Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. So tonight we were going to kind of talk about the basics that are the most important things that we need to be doing in our business. And these are what all the leaders that we see just climbing the ranks, the directors, like all the leaders, they're all doing the exact same activities, exactly the same. And I feel like that for those of us on the team that have been on for a while, we need to get back to the basics, just back to the basics and simplicity, because that is also what duplicates, right? And so for the new people, these are the steps that you want to focus on and not get distracted on. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of start, I'm going to go ahead and dive in into my notes here. First off, whenever messaging, with people, we want to use their preferred method of contact, whether it's text, most people are not okay with the phone anymore. So text message, but if you're going to use Messenger or text message on your phone, try to use the voice recording, because they can hear your tone and they can read you so much better. What do you mean, Crystal? I can't hear you. Hang on just a second. I can't hear you. You're muted.
I was going to have everybody mute their audio so
Okay.
you get rid of background noise so you're recording.
There are a lot of background noise. Okay. Can everybody mute?
I don't know how to mute.
At the bottom of your screen, there's a mute.
Actually, I got it. I muted her. Sorry. I muted you. Okay. So, everybody's muted. So that way we cut out background noise. And so if you do, just raise your hand if you need something or if you have a question. Okay. That way I can at least see you. Okay. Okay. So I like to use the voice recordings because people get text, messages, whether it's on the phone, on Facebook, on email, whatever, all the time. And it's easy to misread, and they're not hearing your voice. They've got to be able to hear our voice and what we mean by something, but also our passion. So I highly, highly recommend that. Now, when we dive into this, keep in mind that stylists do not fall into this category. Okay. So whenever we're talking about all of these, just all of the things that we're going to go through tonight, it's totally different for stylists. So just know that that's a whole different training on its on its own. Stylists and professionals like doctors and things like that, they're all going to be totally separate. These people that we're talking about is the vast majority of people just like us. Okay, the people in the workforce, corporate America, stay-at-home moms, just everybody that's not a hair professional, basically. Okay, so when you're talking to someone, I'm going to kind of go over some basics on approaching someone or first talking to someone, and then I'm going to go through the exact exposures and steps that we have to go through to get the quickest results. Okay. But number one is don't talk about the benefits of Monat. And it's really hard because we get excited about the benefits and we know that those things are important. But when you're on the other side of the fence and you're hearing those benefits, they don't really mean a whole lot, the facts. I'm talking about the facts, like the facts of clinical stuff. And there's a time and a place for them. But when you're first talking to someone and getting them interested, that's your first goal, is to create that curiosity and get them interested to want to know more. Okay. So at that point, you're not going to be talking about facts. Oh, it's, clinical studies and it's got this and it's got all these, botanical this and that. And it doesn't matter to them. They're going to shut you off and you're done, and you might as well just go on to the next one, right? So you do need to talk about the benefits. I'm sorry, I kind of got that switched. So wait on the facts, but talk about the benefits, what it's going to do for them and how it makes them feel. Because people make decisions based off of emotional, emotions, really, how things are going to make them feel. And that's why women, especially, will spend more money on, getting their hair done, getting their nails done, looking nice, because those things make them feel a certain way. It makes us feel good, right? Or buying that new outfit. They'll do that before they'll, go take care of, something else that probably that money should be spent on, right? So talk about how this, will make them feel, whether it's the product or the income, having more money in their account, how that's going to make them feel. So for instance, my product or business, either one, can help you do this certain things so that you can feel this way, and you just fill in the blanks, so my product can help you to have that longer, fuller, healthier, shinier hair so that you can feel confident and feel like you're young again, like you did when you're a teenager, and, and turn those heads and have people ask you, wow, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And like put them in that position and let them see that, and let them feel how that's going to feel. And whatever their situation is, kind of know a little bit, you can see their hair, you kind of know what they're going to be dealing with. As far as the business, so this business can help you have more money in your account so that you can, go take that dream vacation with your kids that takes 5 years to save up for, or, have that retirement that, just it weighs on you, but there's just not that extra money to put that retirement away, or whatever it is that you think is important to them. That is what we need to be selling, not the facts about our shampoo and our comp plan. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and also the more customized your message is to your prospect when you're first contacting them, the better. So instead of just having kind of a real generic short copy paste type message that goes to everybody, people do that all day long. We see that all day long. I just got one and I'm just like, there's nothing about that makes me want to message you back. You know what I mean? And so we don't want to be white noise like that. So customize it to them. Go look on, if you don't know them that well, if you know them, you're going to kind of know their situation and the angles to use in their personal life that will help speak to them. You're going to know the personality to know what's important to them. But for people on Facebook, there's a lot of them that we just don't know that well. So go to their Facebook page, see what's important to them, because people will either talk about or post pictures about things that are important to them. It might be, their kids, or it might be people put on there how they're broke and, all kinds of stuff. They will put all that kind of stuff on it. You can tell a lot about their page. So dig into their page just a little bit before you message them. Find out what's important to them. See if you can tell what their personality is by what they're posting. You can just tell a lot, and take that angle. Make it as detailed or as customized as possible to pique their interest. So just remember, when you're talking to them, you probably have a different personality than they do. So don't talk about what's important to you and what gets you excited. It's all about what gets them excited and what's important to them, because they really don't care about you. In reality, they care about themselves and how is this going to help me? What can that do for me? That's just our nature. And they're already going to kind of have that wall up because there is so much network marketing out there that, that first contact is going to have to mean something to them, right? We don't want to have that canned message. So customize that as much as you can to get them interested and to get them, to want to respond back to you. Try to keep an open-ended question at the end of it so that they have to come back and answer you. So, if it's somebody you don't really know, I would not recommend going straight into the business. Connect with them, relate to them, build some trust with them. And a few questions that you can ask just to kind of get conversation started is, what do you do for work? And ask them, oh, that's awesome. How long have you been doing that? Now, mind you, this should all be done over voice messaging so that they can hear your voice. Okay. But just, ask, oh, that's awesome. How long have you been doing that for? And, oh, I saw on this picture, you've got a son or, whatever, and he's so adorable, whatever. Just connect with them. But also you can ask them questions like, when they tell you what they do for work, how long they've been doing it for. Oh, you must love that, huh? And, just like you would somebody you haven't seen in 10 years, asking those kind of, oh, that's awesome. Is that something you just really love? That's so cool. And you know what? They may hate it. That's a really good way to find out if they hate or love their job. But another question you can ask them is Is it exciting to you to do that type of work for the next, 10 years or 20 years, or is that exciting to you to do that for, the next several years? And word that in a way that's comfortable for you and it sounds right coming out of your mouth. But those are ways that you can kind of connect with people, but you can also find out, if they hate their job, what's important to them. Okay. So, I'm just going to I'm trying to kind of get through everything so we don't get kicked off before we get finished. So in contacting your friends, I know that a lot of times we want scripts, like specific scripts, but there are so many different ways to go about doing it that when you focus too much on a specific script, it sounds scripted. Honestly, it just does. So we really have to keep it as natural as possible and as you as possible. So anything that we talk about today, just try to now we're not going to go through a lot of scripts. We may kind of focus on different approaches and objections and things like that on another training. But the ones that we do cover, just remember, don't try to memorize it word for word. Just try to get the overall concept of how the conversation is going. Okay. But one of the most important things when you first contact someone, whether it's a really good friend or an old acquaintance, is do not tell them whenever I started, I didn't even tell them it was shampoo, and I didn't even tell them it was Monate. Like, I didn't even mention it. They had no clue. So I had people getting on the phone and they didn't even know it was shampoo, and they couldn't go look up the company because I didn't tell them what it was. So, trying to get their curiosity up is really the most important thing. And so, what I did when I first started, I hadn't started posting on Facebook so that they didn't know. I would just contact the ones that have been in network marketing before, or maybe they have been good friends of mine in the past or whatever. And I would just tell them, hey, you know what? I've got something that fell in my lap. I was not expecting it, and I certainly wasn't looking for anything, but it's something it blew me away. And I really think you're going to want to know about this. But before I tell you, you have to promise me that you're okay with telling me no, and wait for their answer. And when they say, sure, yeah, because now they're going to be like, what the heck is she talking about? And when they say, yeah, I'm okay with telling you no, then tell them, say, I just want to, meet up with coffee. Let's get coffee and let's catch up. Coffee dates or an actual phone call are so much more effective than just messaging each other. Messaging is more comfortable for us, but you're going to grow very, very slowly by doing that. So your contact is just, your main purpose is not to close a sale, to get, a new customer or a new market partner. Your only objective whenever you're having that conversation is to schedule your next contact. And that's it. That's all. That's all you should worry about. Okay. So then just tell them, you know what? I'm in a hurry. I've got to run. Let's meet up for coffee. Are you available for like 15 minutes tomorrow? And give them two options. Are you available tomorrow or Friday? Or tonight or tomorrow. Give them two options. Let them decide so that they always feel like they're in control of the decision, but you guide the conversation. Always give them two options, and always leave them with an open-ended question. And then try to schedule that. If they can't get together, then just say, let's just chat. I know it's a lot for me to text. Let's just hop on the phone just for a few minutes, and that way I can chat, and we can just catch up for a few minutes. And then, you know what? Here's one thing too. Whenever you go and meet up for coffee, and you're going to, go over all this with them, you can ask them, if you don't know their personality that well, and you're kind of trying to determine which angle to take because you don't know if they're a blue or a red or a yellow or a green, you can ask them, now, how do you want this to go? When we meet at Chick-fil-A or at Starbucks or whatever, I can, meet you at a certain time. In fact, I'll show up early. I'll have lots of information for you. I'll get right to the point, and you can even take the information with you, and you can look over all of it when you get home. Or we can meet there, we can hang out, we can grab a bite to eat, we can chit chat, catch up, this and that. And, and then we can, kind of discuss, because what you're doing is you're determining what their personality is. And that tells you by their answer, if they say, you know what, I don't have a lot of time, I just want to get, I got to get to the point, I got to get going, this and that. Now you kind of know they're not blue because they're not socialized. They like to eat and they like to chit chat and have fun before they do any kind of business, right? So they're not blue. They're probably more like a red or a green. So they want information. You better show up early, and you got to get right to the point and have some documentation so they can take with them. So you know what to focus on when you meet with them. Okay. So that can kind of help you determine their personality if you don't know. Let's see. I'm going to go over that here in just a second. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about it. But you can, do it just like I just said. You can ask them if you really feel like they're not going to be interested themselves. You can ask them, listen, I just want to know just your opinion, and if, who you might know that this would be perfect for. And you're hoping that they're going to be interested themselves. If not, then ask them, okay, who do you know? Okay, who do you know that could use this product, or who do you know that, is looking for something like this? So that's your objective. So you can, if it's somebody that you really trust, you can also take the angle of, hey, it's like a really good close friend. You could always ask them to, tell them, say, hey, you know what? I got something new going on, and I'm not doing this without you, and I plan on making some money with it. We're going to learn this together. We need to get together because this is going to be a big deal. You know what I mean? Still create that curiosity, but you can be more frank with them because they trust you, and they're like, oh crap, what are you getting us into now? You know what I mean? Like that type of person. You can take that angle. So there's a lot of different angles like that. But the point is to create curiosity so that you can just schedule the next appointment, okay? Now, here's the thing, is that these tools, and you've heard this before, but this is what everybody does. And if you're not doing this, you're not going to grow, and you're not going to grow very quickly. So it's important to stick with the system and duplicate it because it works if you'll do it, okay? So I'm going to make a list of the tools that we use, and these are the tools that I use the most, and I use them all the time. You can use them in any different order depending on who you're talking to and how the conversation is going, okay? But here are the tools that you need to use, okay? Before and after pictures. Of course, we probably all know how important those are. I also use the Rejuvenique video. I get on YouTube and pull that off of there. If you have a phone that has notes in it, or something like that, I know Crystal does this, copy the links and paste them in one note, like Notepad, like in your iPhone, go to notes, and I have one that just has Monat links. And I've got all my video links and all of that. That way I can just copy paste, and I'm not having to go and search them out in Facebook groups or YouTube channels, okay? Rejuvenique video, get on the YouTube channel and copy and paste that, hang on to that. So when you're talking to somebody that's really interested in product, kind of wants to know about ingredients, but wants to know how the product works as far as why is this different, I always kind of tell them, well, our flagship product, the Rejuvenique oil, that's where the magic happens. It's all right there, and that's infused in all of it, but it's patented. You can't get it anywhere else, and so as we're kind of talking about it, then I'll say, hey, would you like to watch a little video to kind of learn about what that is? Why is that so different, And usually they will. And so then, well, if I send it to you, would you watch it? If I would, you, right? And so then that's when I'll usually send that once we're in the middle of that conversation, okay? Another tool that you can use is the list of no's. Do y'all have that? It's like I've got a couple, and if I can send it, I can actually post it in our group, so y'all can just like save it to your phone. I use that because it tells all the stuff that we don't have in our products, all the harmful petrochemicals and sulfates and parabens and all that stuff. I do use that when I'm talking to people, but that's not one of my first exposures. That's later in the conversation, and depends on the conversation. It may not be important to some people. Of course, samples is a tool. I use that the very, very last typically because I prefer to not spend a lot of money on those. I use, of course, the Dare to Succeed. That to me, that and the before and after pictures those are the two top tools that I use the most and are the most important and most crucial in our business. The Dare to Succeed could include the brochure that you're reading to them when you're meeting for coffee, and then you can send it home with them to, look over it some more. It could include you just copying, like in the Monate Live, the Monday night Monate Live Dare to Succeed group. You know what I'm talking about? Where they do the live Dare to Succeed every Monday night at 9:00. You know what I'm talking about? Some look like deer in headlights. Okay. All right. So that group is really, really important when you're talking to someone or getting their interest up, or if you're going to already send them samples, send them, say, hey, I've got something for you to look at while you're waiting on your samples. This is so awesome. You're going to be so excited. If I send you this video, would you watch it? And if they say yes, go to the what is that called? Here, I got to unmute. Crystal, what's that called? You probably know. No, you got to unmute yourself. You're muted. Oh, hey, what's that group called?
I think it's Monate Live, Monday nights.
No,
I'll look it up right
at
now.
9 p.m. Okay, so that's the group. Used to, I would ask them, hey, are you okay with me? Once they say yes, they would watch it. What I would do is I would say, okay, is it all right with you if I add you to this group and tag you in the video? Gosh, we got to hurry. Okay. We only have like 10 minutes. But instead of doing that, what I do is I hit share. I find the video that I want to use and I hit share, and then I hit copy link. And then you can just go in your message and you can just paste it and send it straight to them, and they can just watch it right on their phone. They're more likely to watch it if you do that. So I really recommend doing that. So if whether you're having a conversation with someone, you're sitting with them in coffee, if you're not comfortable reading the Dare to Succeed with them, then turn that video on and you two watch it together. You know what I mean? Like, learn it, hear it. I watch these videos over and over and over so I can pick up a really effective way to read it, because before long you'll be reading it to them, right? The director's videos of their testimonies, I like to use Ann Fisher's and Julie Stevens. They have really, really good. I can post those links as well, because you kind of have to dig into our YouTube video, or our YouTube channel under Monations. Both of their testimony videos are in there. So when you're talking business with people, stories, you could never, that is like one of the big tools that you can use. If you don't have a story, tell somebody else a story. I don't care if it's product, if it's business. I did that. I still do that all the time. I tell stories. We'll share a story, that video. 3-way calls. If you're talking to somebody, whether you're at coffee or you're on Messenger or you're on the phone, say, hey, you know what? Before you go meet with someone or before you have a conversation, holler at your upline and say, hey, I'm going to be meeting this prospect. Are you going to be available to get on the phone just for a few minutes? That way you can kind of have them, available there. And then when you're with your prospect, they don't have to know you already had that lined up. You can just be talking to them and say, hey, you know what? While you're talking, about all of this, I tell you what, I really want you to meet, so-and-so. I'm just going to see if she's available. I'm going to grab her on the phone real quick and just pick up your phone and call them, put it on FaceTime or whatever. And there you go. That's your third-party validation. But you can also do 3-way right here on Zoom, just like this. So those are your tools. Events are a really big one. Here's the thing. If you can give them all of those tools that I just gave you, if you will go through those and expose people to as many of those as possible, and then if there's an event coming up, then after you've exposed them to all of those, take them to the event. They are more likely to show up. Don't let the event be your first exposure, because they're probably not going to show up. But if you'll go through all of those things, it gets them excited. And then take them to the event. That's going to seal the deal, and they're probably going to sign up at the event. That's how Canada got 54 prospects signed up at one event that one night. That's how they're doing it. They're going through they're doing coffee dates. They're going through these lists of exposures with people, and then they're taking them to an event and they're signing up. And
it's Meet Monate Live, Monday nights, 9 p.m. Central.
Okay. There you go. All right. Okay. So that's those. if you try to do other things, you're reinventing the wheel, honestly, and it's going to take you a lot longer. And so just doing these steps over and over and over with people is the most important thing that you can do. And that's what all of our leaders are doing. Let's see. If you don't have an event nearby you, get them on the phone with your upline, or like, somehow if you see that there's one going on, see if somebody can FaceTime y'all in, your prospect, or, get together as a coffee date, while an event is going on, and watch a FaceTime with them or a Zoom with them or something, just expose them to these events, because they are seeing the big picture. They're seeing all these people and they're like, whoa, there is something to this. You know what I mean? Like, it just clicks for them. And if you'll do that, I promise you, it will work for you like it is for everybody else that's been successful with this. Okay, Crystal, I don't know if we're going to have enough time, but let's role play. Let's say that you messaged me off of a post that I made on Facebook. And let's say that you're like, hey, I want to know about this, but you've got objections. If we get cut off, we may just have to finish later. But you've got objections. You're not real sure about auto ship. You're not real sure about price, things like that. Can you try to maybe role play with me and pretend like that I made a post on Facebook and you want to know about the product, and kind of see maybe how I would, go through the process with them.
Okay.
There's somebody that I know. You're in my network on my Facebook.
Okay. So, hey, I'm not real sure about this whole auto ship thing. I've done auto ships before. Is it something like, I don't want to do that. I mean, do I have to do that? Is that something I have to do?
Okay. But most people, when they first message us, they want to know about the product. So let's just say, like, start at the beginning, like where you saw the before and after picture. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying you've got objections. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Like, I don't know about this whole thing. I'm kind of skeptical. Like, is this legit? Is this like for real?
Okay, that's you. Okay, all right. So maybe we should prepare before we start. So yeah. So have any of y'all had people like contact you that are like that have said that when they first contact you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So so asking you if the business is legit, is that right?
Well, the product, like, I see all these before and after pictures, but I mean, like, is it for real? Like, okay. Does it really work?
Yeah, definitely. These are customers that are my personal customers. In fact, I'll show you my personal, my personal results. We've got products that are new and they're different from anything else. But you know what? Even if you're not sure, you can try it. And you know what? We've got a 30-day money back guarantee. And if you don't like it, you can literally use the entire bottle. And on day 29, send it back. They will give you your full money, all your money back on the product and no questions asked. So you just got free product for a whole month. And, I've never been to Ulta or anywhere else where I could use a whole entire bottle and take it back to them and tell them I didn't like it and still get my money back. But we are so confident in that it will help you that we offer that. And I will tell you as well that we've sold over $60 million worth of this shampoo, and it works so well that even with that money back guarantee, we have less than 1% return rate, even with our money back guarantee. So you literally have nothing to lose. And, worst case scenario, you have mediocre hair and you get your money back and free shampoo. Best case scenario, you absolutely love the product and I can get you a discount, or even our steepest discount, and, just depending on what works for you. So what is it that you would like to change about your hair? What are the top 2 things that you would like to see different about your hair?
Okay, so my hair, it falls out. I lose a ton of hair. So is it going to help with that?
Absolutely. You know what? Most of my customers, or most of our customers as market partners, hear that all day long. And So most of my customers have that issue, whether they're men or women, hormones, medication. We have seen so much. And in fact, let me just show you some of my customers right now. I'm just going to shoot you over some pictures that you can see exactly what it's done for them. Is that all right with you?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. So then I would shoot them over some pictures and I'll tell them, you are going to be absolutely blown away. I always tell them what to expect. I always tell them, you are going to be so blown away by these pictures. I promise you're going to react just like everybody else that I see. Their jaw just drops to the floor and they cannot believe it. And I'm so excited for you to see this. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. And then I would shoot some pictures over. So now they're like, holy crap, really? I mean, like my jaw's going to, you know what I mean? Kind of gets them curious, you know? And I send them over and they're like, oh, wow. But I make sure I send pictures that are like their hair. Or if I know their hair and I know their husband's or somebody else in the family, I'll send both. I'll send pictures that speak to them, but to somebody else, because it never fails. They go, oh, I need that for my husband too. Or, oh, my mama really needs that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're already exposing to several people. They're already seeing, I'm not the only one that needs this. Like I know other people that need this product. So they're already thinking through that process, right? Because then it's that I'm kind of getting them ready so that when they're ready to get the product and later whenever I'm ready to start talking about market partner, they're thinking, they're not going to be saying, well, I don't know anybody that's going to, they've already gone through the process of, oh, I already know so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, right? Does that make sense? Okay. So, all right. So then let's say I sent you the pictures and you were really excited about it.
You're about to cut them